Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back one more frickin' time to Wheel Takes, a podcast about the Wheel of Time, a series of epic fantasy novels by Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson helped. I'm Gus, I've read all of them.
And I'm Allie, and I am on book 8, chapter 10.
10. This podcast only contains spoilers for what Allie has already read. It's been a minute since we've done a normal episode, so I actually once again forgot how we do the intro that I've done over 200 times. But again, today that's everything up to and including Book 8, Chapter 10, and Chapter 10 is called...
And 10 is...
Changes. Allie, how you doing? It's the new year.
A new year.
2023.
Same me.
Yeah. Same back support squishmallow.
Same back support crab. Same couch. Same Gus.
Same microphone.
You know, I am rejecting diet culture.
It's toxic.
Which is, God, so pervasive in January. But also enjoying a bit of like a reset time. My philosophy is January is like a let's slow down and like get back into a routine.
Yeah. Before we really jump into it, we've got a couple of folks to thank.
We do?
A couple of new patrons, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Because now that now that we've got ads, some people were like, fuck your ads. Here's $1.
I respect that.
I respect that too. But if Spreaker is listening, we're joking. We love you.
We don't respect that at all. How dare they?
Allie, first things first. Thanks for the high five, Spencer R.
Spencer R. Just like a capricious moonbeam. You lighten even the darkest of times. There's a magical, mystical quality about you. And you're comforting, and also you kind of keep things orderly, right? Like the moon's got its cycles, kind of controls things we don't even understand, really. Just like that. That's what you are, Spencer.
Thanks for the cup of coffee, Eliezer B.
Eliezer B. Just like a showy barnacle. Have I done barnacle?
No.
You cling on to hope in a way that I find admirable. You have a hard exterior, but a really lovely little gooey center. You are tough to knock around. You know, you really stand firm in your principles. You really stand firm in who you are. And I really admire that. And for that, we thank you. And thank you for being a part of this podcast.
Thanks for the high five, Calariel.
Calariel, just like a chimerical.
Hey.
Soccer ball. Yeah,
okay.
I watched the World Cup in December. You just have this lovely bouncy quality to you wherever you go. You shoot for the moon and often get there, but at worst you land amongst the stars. You are also something that unites everyone you come into contact with. You know, you have a global presence. And for that, we thank you. And thanks for being a part of this podcast community.
And last but not least, thanks for the high five, Audrey.
Okay, so I learned recently, because you know what, who spends time on baby name websites is
writers.
Expectant parents, but also writers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I learned that Audrey, I believe, means like warrior.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool. But Audrey, just like a choice. Why is the only word that's coming to my head garbage can? Just like a choice garbage can. Nope. I'm going to pick something else. Allie, pick something else. Just like a choice. Just like a choice coffee maker. You bring so many people so much joy every day. You've become someone who people really rely on for support during some of their darkest hours, which would be the morning during daylight savings. You are also brimming with possibility and joy and splendor. And for that, we thank you. And thank you for being a part of this community.
Yeah, thanks to all our new patrons. Y'all are real nice.
Y'all are so lovely. And we're just so grateful for you every day.
Real kind of you. And thanks everyone for listening.
And for those of you who have not gotten your letters yet,
sorry,
I apologize. We are super behind.
Yeah, that's on
because
us.
of the holidays and because
And
of
just
life
of
events.
Who we are.
We have a very firm commitment to getting them done and to you as soon as humanly possible.
By the end
Take a
of
shot.
January.
I said as soon as humanly possible.
Al,
Yes.
question.
Hopefully answer.
Where did we leave off?
Ooh. Was it a different Perrin chapter?
No.
Sorry, I was so sleepy.
No, it's okay. It was not. It was not a
was
Perrin
it
chapter.
the bowl?
It was the bowl.
That's
the last thing that happened.
The bowlgasm.
The bowlgasm. And then we here in the United States have been subjected to the same thing over and over and over and over again. That's right. 4 Perrin chapters. That was not a very deft... I was trying to make a joke about the
Kevin McCarthy
about the Speaker of the House election thing.
What are we on now? 11?
11.
11 votes.
Yes.
Everyone who's international is like, I don't give a fuck.
What the fuck is this? Why is your government so weird?
Look it up.
I don't know either.
It's funny as shit. Anyway, it's funny as shit. Our government doesn't work right now. It's so funny. Anyway, we're just having a whale of a time.
But much like the votes for Speaker of the House, this week you had to basically read the same thing about 17,000 times.
It's true.
Now, we could just preemptively call this the Perrin Slander Hour Part 2, but I don't think that we're going to be slandering Perrin.
Slander Perrin for all of this.
I think this is mostly just going to be like the why hour.
I saw this TikTok the other day that was like every page your reader should learn something new for maximum readability, because I somehow ended up on writer TikTok, but like not screenwriter TikTok, just
like book
regular
writer
novel writer TikTok. But I'm kind of happy I'm there because like I feel like I'm learning something new. Like I'm not having to hear about Save the Cat over and over again.
Yeah.
Or like, I mean, what screenwriter Twitter has devolved to, which is like, do you bold slug lines or no? And it's like a very hot, controversial topic. Mm-hmm. Slug lines being like the headings of your scenes, so not impactful whatsoever.
Big deal.
Huge deal. Slug line, very important. I strongly am in the whatever the program that I use has decided is appropriate camp.
Yeah.
Because I honestly have not noticed whether or not I bold slug lines.
So you were on writer Twitter.
So I was on writer Twitter, and they're saying something new, something
page,
like some new piece of information or something has to happen every page.
This was
which sounded like a lot.
This is roughly 100 pages of material you read for this episode. Sum up.
I don't think I learned a new thing. Now, listen. Robert Jordan has gotten his paychecks. He is happy as a clam. And I tell my interns all the time, once you're Shonda Rhimes, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know her. But once you are somebody very successful, you can kind of do whatever the fuck you want. And who's going to say anything to you about it because of who you are? No one. But when you're like starting out, those rules are really helpful just because like everyone else will be looking for that. So, you know, far be it for me to tell a writer as successful as Robert Jordan what to do with his work. He can do whatever he wants. He's gotten his paycheck. However, it was not an easy couple 100 pages.
It was only 100.
Shut up. Really? It took me like 8 hours to get through.
It did. We were on vacation for a couple weeks and we were trying to read as many books as possible. I read 9 books.
I read 7.
Allie read 7 books plus 4 Perrin chapters.
So
I think that counts as more than 9 books.
And you know what? I went through those 7 books faster than I went through the 4 chapters. I really did. it was Perrin's brain is. You know what? Here's what I want. Like, my New Year's resolution is to, like, slow down and find peace and calm. Like, I'm having my calm girl era, I've decided.
Yeah, I like that.
Like, where I just don't give a shit. And, like, Perrin is there. Like, this fucker is in the middle of the apocalypse, and he's just kind of, like, walking around like, my wife, you know, and I yearn for that kind of peace. Do you ever meet someone kind of simple and you just go like, what a simple, like, plane of existence you seem to live on?
I wouldn't say simple because that's usually used critically, but I know what you mean. But you mean somebody who seems unconcerned with the greater goings on.
Yeah, and I kind of go, must be nice. Yeah. Because I was talking to somebody today and I said, I'm trying to enter my calm girl era because I'm starting to feel like no one wants to work with a rabid goblin. And that's kind of how I feel like half the time, is I just feel like a rabid goblin. Like, my eyes are like way too big. My breath is way too fast. Like, my heart rate is like alarmingly fast. And I need to like simmer a little bit and just take in my calm girl era. This is where we're at. We're in a calm girl era. And Perrin is calm girl era TM.
Well, let's dive in.
I want, like, whatever fucking CBD shit that he's on.
Wolf.
Is that what happens?
Well, I don't know.
Do you join the pack and then you also learn the puff puff pass?
Maybe.
Like, what is going on with him? How is he so chill all the time?
Well, let's find out.
Except for when he randomly picks people up.
Yeah.
But these 4 chapters, I'm like,
he hangs
what
some
are you
dudes,
on?
but like they were slaughtering.
See, but that was the correct decision, and I feel like he was kind of like, we gotta hang these people.
Incidentally, you get a bingo square for Massima commits war crimes.
Yeah. Well, that was almost a gimme, honestly.
Let's jump into these war crimes. Chapter 7, Allie, is called a goat pen. This is the logo.
A goat pen.
What is this?
It's a wolf.
It's a wolf. Do you have any?
Predictably.
Do you have any notes? Because I don't think anything.
Might.
I mean, things do happen. It would be a lie for me to say things.
Snarky comments.
By the way,
at some points.
You all know already whether we get to 4 chapters or not because of the title of the episode. But I can just suspect some of you looked at 4 chapters and went, okay, well, let's see about that. Let's see if they do it this time.
We're going to, for the love of fuck, I'm not spending 2 episodes on these chapters. No offense. I'm always worried someone's going to be like, how fucking dare you?
Well, as was once said, I'm paraphrasing, Perrin can't hear us.
He can't.
So, you know.
Okay, I think... Oh.
How do you have so many notes?
I did take a lot of notes.
What the fuck?
This is how I got through it. And some of these are so fucking snarky and it's like really cracking me up.
All right, go for it.
Leanie just said Perrin shouldn't play dumb. Ma'am? Ma'am? He ain't playing. Okay. I will go in my grave denying that Leanie ever suggested Morghese marry Talonvor. That did not happen. Gus, undo this.
I know.
Okay, here's my upsetness. I had a full like meltdown tantrum on a walk that Gus and I took during the holidays because I realized in my head how this whole Talonvor Morghese thing is going to go down according to Robert Jordan, and I am so pissed. Because I know how it's going to happen.
How's it going to happen?
And I just started screaming, Gus, no. Gus, no. Please, God, no.
It was pretty funny.
Full on meltdown. So, Fael and Morghese get kidnapped by the Shido. For sure. We know that's going to happen to Fael.
We know that?
We know.
We
know. We know it's going to happen. It's being set up this way. I just feel it in my heart, in my heart bones. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. The good old heart bones.
The good old heart bones. I'm a doctor. And I just feel it in my heart bones that Fael's going to get kidnapped. And because Morghese has nothing good happen to her, and I don't know what the hell they're even doing with her, she's also going to get kidnapped because that's just how the cookie crumbles for her.
Sure.
Because she's just got to get kidnapped to kidnapped to kidnapped. She's just napped all over the place and not in the way that I would like to be right now. So I'm just not here for that. And then, okay, Talonvor and Perrin come to the rescue because, of course, they do, because women can't save themselves, obviously. Because I hate women. And so I don't hate women. Okay, but so Perrin and Talonvor go and save them, and then like Leanie says some bullshit that Leanie says, like, lovers are others until lovers are lovers, or some what sound like Robert Jordanism, where he was like, I'm gonna put the South into this book because I'm Robert Jordan. And then and I'm like, ugh. And then Perrin's like, I'm a lord, I'll marry the two of you right here on the Shido carcasses. The most romantic spot was in my Pinterest in 2014 as to how I was going to get married for sure.
I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Our wedding was perfect, except for it lacked a
Shido
je ne sais
carcasses.
quoi of carcass.
Yeah.
And that's how that's going to go down. Every little girl's dream is to get married over a carcass.
Yeah. Well, bummer.
So that's going to go down. And I fucking hate it.
And you're going to scream
I
for
want to go on
1,000
record
years.
and be like, I will scream for 1,000 years if it goes down this way.
But what if like Perrin just totally no-sells the wedding?
Like what?
What if like they come to him and they're like all, you know, oh, we're going to do the thing. And then Perrin is like, okay, sure. Boom. You're married.
He's just like, you're married.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye. I've got more.
How would that
important shit.
affect it? Would that make it better?
All right,
or
that would
worse?
be iconic. I really hope that's what happens, actually. That would be the only thing that would redeem this plot line for me. Like, if they do a full, like, I, for you, me, Bashira, marry you. If it's that, and they try to make it cute, I'm fucking out. If it's funny, that will fix everything. Because that would be the wedding in my mind that Talonvor deserves. Like, I don't support this, but whatever, do whatever the fuck you want wedding.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Then Perrin and I would be the same. Because that would be the wedding I would want them to have. Okay. Perrin needs to stop grabbing people challenge.
Oh, did he do it again?
Yeah.
God damn
He
it.
keeps doing that. Stop it.
I think in this case it was because...
No, he like grabbed somebody really hard all of a sudden, and I can't like he realized something or someone said something, and he was like, "What?" And he grabbed them, and I was like,
probably.
And he was like, "Oh, you know who it was? You know who it was? The innkeeper guy."
Oh, Basil Gill.
Yes, he grabbed Basil Gill by the like collar, and Basil Gill looked like he was going to like shit, fart, throw up, like everything. Shitting and farting and pooping and coming and like, you know, it just,
Oh, God.
you know what I mean? Like he
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
expelled
Yeah. Throw up a little bit.
like all of it.
Pee a little bit.
Like all of it.
Yeah.
And Perrin was like, huh, he seems nervous. And I'm like, yeah, wolf boy, you grabbed him by the fucking lapel. Jesus, leave him alone. So anyway, so that happened. Perrin wants Fael to keep out of trouble, or wants to keep Fael out of trouble. And I'm sitting here like, Perrin, you can barely cross the street by yourself. My God, this is Perrin Slander Hour Part 2. I'm so sorry, but I was really frustrated. Then, I don't know if you've seen on TikTok, but there are people doing this, like, things that would put a Victorian child into a coma.
Yeah.
So, I have things that would put Perrin in a coma.
Oh, no.
Women's rights. Arithmetic. Trying to spell arithmetic. Shakespeare's Twelfth Night specifically. Imagine him trying to suss out the plot. Like, you're telling me that they're siblings?
I can't tell them apart.
What? The concept of interchangeable parts.
He's a blacksmith.
Eli Whitney and the Cotton Gin. Women's rights again. He'd wake up and then he'd like re-remember that women's rights existed and he'd fall back.
Oh my God.
In Perrin's defense, I dropped my phone on my face writing that list. So So we all have a little simple Perry in us.
Oh, I love Perrin.
You're telling me that the Shan-Chan are back? This is Perrin, this chapter. Oh my god. Blech, forever. Blech. Okay. Fail said the line, and this is, I'm going to try to get through this without like vomiting into the microphone. You taught me to perch on your wrist. And I wrote, that is the worst sentence I've ever read in my life. First, factually inaccurate, unless he's like fisting her.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Second, throwing up forever.
Oh, boy.
I'm just saying, perch on your where? I'm sorry, ma'am. Okay. Then I was like so worked up by that sentence. I had to take a like 45-minute break from the books because I could not.
Let's go ahead and rip through all the notes.
I'm ripping through it. And then I came back and was like, I'm having a hot flash over how upset that sentence made me. This sentence was so abhorrent, it made me menopausal. I am infertile now.
What about that line is so upsetting?
What about that is so upsetting?
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, no, I know, but
all of it, like her being subjected to someone else, the idea that she's being tamed in some way. Can we stop with like taming people? It's just, there's weird connotations all around. And like, listen, if subjugation is her kink, that's fine. But it seems to be every woman's kink in these books. And I'm just like, no. She will be taught to bottom quite thoroughly.
Oh, God.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
Is it better or worse than Ripe?
Ooh.
I feel like Ripe is worse, but it's close.
Ripe's up there. Ripe? I don't know. They're tied. Can they be tied?
They can be tied, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it's all just cringing, inducing. Okay. And then Perrin thought about burning the banner, and he's like, I don't burn it because of Fail, because she likes it. And I was like, no, Perrin, you can't burn the banner. Daddy would never approve. Fail is wondering if Dira had as much difficulty managing her husband. And I'm like, nah, because Dav can count without using his fingers. Then I remembered that I can't count without using my fingers. So that became a self-burn. Oh, and yes, and Gus very helpfully wanted to remind me also that I can't tell my lefts and my rights. Are we bullying the disabled? No.
I used my hands to give you the option of telling that or not.
Oh, I know, but I felt pressured. No, I have a freckle. No, because I couldn't tell my L's either growing up. I couldn't remember which way was actually L. So the left thing didn't work for me. So I have a freckle on my hand that used to be a wart that my grandmother burned off of me.
Awesome.
Because
not awesome.
Because she's from a time and place where that was how you dealt with things like that.
Not great.
And so one day I showed her, I was like, Grandma, I have this wart on my hand. And she was like, cool. She took scissors, cut it off, and then burned it with a match. Anyway, so now, happily, I have this freckle where the wart used to be. And now I know which hand is my left because of the freckle. What a charming story. Fail is so 1%, it's embarrassing.
She is.
Anyway, I will give her one thing. Falcon Talon is the coolest name for an army, and it's not close.
Chafail?
Chafail?
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Oh, that's fucking rad.
It's pretty cool.
Way better than Stepper and Stayer. She can name everything from now on.
Perrin would have, like, an elite unit that you would think would be called, like, Wolfclaw, but he would just call it, like, Perrin's Guys.
My dudes.
Perrin's Guys. With weapons.
I insist Fail name their children.
He would have to append that. Perrin's Guys with weapons to differentiate it from Perrin's Guys what he does drinks with.
Oh my God.
I love, by the way, Perrin's great.
No, I'm just kidding. I just wanted to trigger some people. My favorite thing is when people will message us and go like, you were mean to so-and-so. And I'm like, have you not listened to our podcast? We're mean to all everyone.
Of them. Anyone who's not real.
They're not real. Yeah, we are really nice to our listeners and we're mean to everyone else.
Well, if they're not real people.
Yeah, if they're not real people.
Yeah.
And then we're really nice to them too. Because I'm mercurial.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good.
Because you know what? My opinion and view is solely based on our last interaction. And that is always true. That's not untrue. Megan, say the word go and I'll go. That's Talonvor to her. Do I get a vote?
But like, would he?
No!
I don't think he would.
This dumbass, no.
He'd like go across the room and stand there staring at her.
But you don't mean it. Like this is the nice guy bullshit.
Eyelids.
This is the nice guy bullshit. He's like, okay, but say it like you mean it. And you're like, I fucking mean it. And he's like, I don't know. I don't think you mean it. Like that shit. No. This fucker. And he's like, tell me to go and I'll go. And I want to know, do I get a vote?
Big severance energy.
Big severance
I'm sorry,
energy.
but I don't believe you mean it.
I don't believe you
Again,
mean it.
please.
Again, please. Yeah. Talonvor is a nightmare man.
Non-contextual spoilers for severance in there.
Talonvor is the worst. Okay. This series is validating all of my worst social anxiety. Everyone misinterprets everyone's best intentions.
It's true.
Yeah, this hasn't been actively good for my social anxiety. Luckily, I've decided in my 30s to not give a fuck anymore whether or not people like me because I'm amazing. Anyway, so had you said go, I'd have buried hope, but I could never leave you. I fucking told you. He said, I'm not going, even though you told me to go. Or no, I wouldn't have gone. Fuck this guy. Fuck him. No, don't fuck him.
That's the main thing.
But I said, this man's idea of a date is Dateline. Come on, Perrin. The poors love the work. The children yearn for the mines. I saw this hysterical tweet the other day where people were like, in 1923 or whenever it was, we took children out of mines. But now the most popular game is Minecraft. The children yearn for the mines. And I just, ever since then, like regardless of the context, I've just been like, the children yearn for the mines.
It's pretty fucking funny.
The poors love the mines. Okay? They love the meat factories and the mines. We all know it. Elias Machira just showed up and did nothing but a racism.
Yeah.
He basically rolled up and was like, Perrin, your wife is spicy. I know because I'm a divorcee. Like, it's like your weird uncle rolled up at the barbecue and was like, marital problems? I'm divorced.
I remember we were reading and you were sitting on the couch and your brow furrowed and you just looked up and went, Elias Machira's just here now.
Absolutely nothing of his arrival.
It's like,
he just is there.
Welcome back, guy we haven't seen in 7 books. What's up?
Yeah, and then I wrote, Elias is all, I got divorced and it made me racist. That's what happened. He was like, I don't like Saldean women or whatever, because he was like, because I was married to one once and she was mean.
No, wasn't
so
it
all
his
Saldeans are mean. No.
Because he was married?
He was married.
Blank this out.
He said, or dating something. It was very awkward.
I thought this whole thing was where he was like, yeah, they're all like that. Your relationship dynamic is fucking weird.
It'd be like your weirdest, creepiest uncle coming up to you and being like, I had a mail order Russian bride once, but she was kind of mouthy, so now I hate all women. It's like, that was like kind of the vibe.
Oh, he lived with Maria for a year. Who the fuck is Maria? A Saldean woman. All right, thank you, Encyclopedia. What?
Now, that Russian bride story was loosely based on a conversation that my stepmother has had.
Oh boy. Are there more notes?
Yes.
All right.
Explaining to Perrin would have been more than difficult. Fail said that shit. Straight up, she goes, explaining to Perrin would have been more than difficult. And I was like, damn, Perry was roasted by his own wife. And that's it. That's all we have.
Well, before we dive
Why are you timing our podcast?
So I know how long it's been, so I can say this. Before we jump further, let's take a second for some ads.
I forgot about the ads.
Welcome back.
Were they good?
I don't know. Apparently, a lot of people just get the same one 8 times.
That's because we blocked something.
We blocked so many things. I am surprised that Spreaker hasn't thrown us
It's
off.
called integrity.
They're very nice to us.
We didn't want anyone to be triggered by any ads.
That's true. All right. Chapter 7, a goat pen Perrin chapter, as are all 4 of these. We're about half an hour in. We might get in under an hour. Regardless, we'll see.
You want to race it?
The Geldonin sky was cloudless, the forested hills hammered by a fierce morning sun. Even short of midday, the land sweltered. Pines and leatherleaf were yellowing in the drought, and others, Perrin suspected, were also... I can't read. And others, Perrin suspected, also were evergreens. Does he not know what it looks like? Whatever. I assume it's because he's just like, it's yellow and I'm not sure. Whatever. Not a whisper of air stirred. Sweat dripped down his face, ran into his short beard. His curly hair was matting on his head. He thought he heard thunder somewhere to the west. What's that?
What's what?
Thunder.
Oh, the bowl!
Well, that was a week ago, so...
The bowl?
Maybe...
The bowl?
It's maybe weather, maybe
bowl?
the Shan-Chan?
Oh. No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right, it's definitely that. Fuck!
But he had almost stopped believing it would ever rain again. You hammered the iron that lay on your anvil instead of daydreaming about working silver. So, they're at a town called Bethel, and he's like, that's a town, all right. I've seen one before, I'll see one again. Ha! He could not make out the scarlet banner hanging limply atop the tallest tower of the largest palace, the only flag in sight, but he knew who it belonged to. Aleandra Maritha Kigerin, Queen of Geldan, far from her capital in Johanna. So they're looking at what are they doing? What's he here? What's the gist? What's the good word? What's the haps?
They're here.
What's the 411?
They're here to meet Massima.
Yeah.
And by extension, Aleandra.
Yeah.
To discuss the fact that Massima is being a nuisance.
Yeah.
And by nuisance, I mean war criminal.
Yeah.
So we need to bring him back to Rand.
Yeah.
However, flag on the play, because he's not there, as Seb Balwer very helpfully tells him.
Yeah.
Instead, he is in some town whose name I don't remember. And the Aes Sedai that are with Perrin are like, we should kill him because he's a bad guy and we don't want Rand associated with that guy, which I agree with.
Aren't the wise ones also like that?
Yeah, everyone's like, this guy sucks. He's besmirching Rand's reputation. If Rand parties with this guy, reputation is a transitive property, which it is. Like my mom always used to tell me, if you want to know who a guy is, look at who his friends are. Like if you fucking hate his friends, if his friends are dicks and are mean to you and your friends, then that guy is probably an undercover douche. Mm. One of the best things my mom's ever told me. So yeah, because who you associate with is who you are by extension. So take a look at your friends. So Massima sucks. We don't want people to think Rand sucks. So we should probably kill Massima to like make it look like Rand's a cool guy who doesn't put up with war criminals. I'm on their side on this one. But Perrin's like, I don't like it when women talk. So then
that's not why.
No, that's not why. He's like, Rand told me to go get him, and so I'm going to go get him, and Rand can figure out what he wants to do with him. Right?
Yeah.
Then, okay, wait, I'm just summarizing the whole thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
So then Aleandra rolls up.
You missed Maegdin because you blocked out Maegdin.
I know what I did. Oh, yeah. Lini goes up to Perrin and is like, you should marry them. And Fael's like, that's what should happen because you know
the pores need to be fucking.
The pores need to be fucking so that they don't think about decapitating us. Am I right? Anyway, so
how does Fael not recognize her?
They need to eat ass so they don't eat the rich.
Amazing.
Am I right? So
how do neither Fael nor Berylane recognize Morghese?
They've never met?
Yeah, but like,
because she's got common clothes on.
Sure. Can't see past the wrapping.
Can't see past the pores.
Yeah.
So
I love Perrin. We'll get there.
Oh, and Fail's like, do you want to be in my service? And
She's
Megan's like, I'm a literal queen, but whatever.
Not anymore. She abdicated.
That's true. Okay, my daughter's literally going to be queen, but whatever. Sure. I'll be in your service. This sucks.
So,
oh, wait, I'm
asking you to, yeah. So, Alejandra shows up.
Okay, Alejandra just rolls up out of nowhere.
And don't forget also that Fail was like, hey, Fail, we're going to have to go kidnap Alejandra.
Oh,
and then Alejandra shows up.
That made me so nervous because I thought, like, so she was just wandering the camp at night, and I was like, prime kidnapping time.
It is the start of a book. You would kind of figure that if that's going to happen, it's going to kick off at the start.
You would think so. But the way that you've said that makes me worry it's going to be like the last thing that happens. And we're just going to be like inside Perrin's head going, for several chapters.
Wonder where my wife is.
Where's my wife?
Haven't seen my wife.
Now, here's what I hope. I hope that this whole book is Perrin going, wonder where my wife is. My wife. My wife. Berylane, my wife. I hope that's the whole book.
Don't forget
and
also...
then next book, and then at the very end of this book, Fail gets kidnapped, and the whole next book is Perrin not realizing that she's been kidnapped. And he's just like,
Wonder where my
wife is.
Don't forget, by the way, Fail at one point in this is like, all right, Berylane's pretty smart, and I think she's actually not that bad. Wish she would stop trying to fuck my mans.
Well, she's like irritated that she likes her, though.
Yeah. I think they should pair up.
I think that
Perrin
they should
alone.
ditch Perrin and hook up because you know what? I would like the woman who has been trained how not to be assassinated with knife-throwing lady. How hot is that as the couple?
So, Alejandra shows up.
Someone write the fanfic for me. Thanks.
Yeah. Alejandra shows up and is like, doesn't she just go like, hey, fealty?
Yes. She rolls up and then she's like, fealty. And Berylane and Fail are like looking at Perrin very significantly. And then Perrin's like, fealty back, I guess. And then they're like, well done, Perrin. You managed to speak. You managed to tie an oath together. Good job.
It wouldn't be fealty back. It would be like, yes, fealty.
Yeah.
Right? I forget exactly what happened.
He just looks at her and goes, word. And they're like, good job, Perrin. You didn't fall down and throw up. So proud of you.
Fail is standing next to Perrin. I'm skipping ahead. Alejandra goes to her knee and does fealty. And Perrin's like, And then Fail really quietly goes, under the light, I do accept your pledge and will defend and protect you and yours through battle's rack and winter's blast and all that time may bring. The lands and throne of Geldan I give to you as my faithful vassal. Under the light, I do accept...
Okay, this was cute as shit, though. This was cute as shit so she whispered it so that, like, only Perrin could hear because she knew that Perrin could hear her, but no one else could. And then Perrin repeated it. Yeah.
Perrin just goes...
It was cute as shit.
Perrin goes, why?
Oh my God. I've done that to you. Where you're like trying to poke me under the table because you're ready to go home. Okay, this is what happens when you have an introvert and an extrovert in a relationship. But I'm not an extrovert. I'm actually like an extroverted introvert.
And then he repeats the thing. But first he goes, why? Sorry, go ahead.
Because I recharge by myself, but I really like being around people. But you've totally done this to me because I will want to usually stay later at a party than Gus. Because I start having a good time and then I'm having a good time. And then I'm like, what time is it? 5 a.m.? Who cares? And then Gus will occasionally like poke me under the table. And sometimes it's a lot harder than you think it is.
Sorry.
And I'll go like, ow,
Perrin
what?
Energy.
And Gus will be like, nothing. And then I'm like, oh, he wants to leave. And then I made it really obvious that Gus wants to leave.
It has happened before.
But you've done that to me too.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay.
So
that's what spouses are for. Embarrassing the shit out of each other. No, I'm just kidding.
Berylane and Fael are both like, let me approach Alejandra. And Berylane is like, it's literally the only reason I'm here. And Fael is like,
that is true.
And Perrin's like, I don't know. But luckily this whole thing is moot because Alejandra comes to him. So they talk and everybody's kind of looking at the sky because a week ago the bowl happened.
Mm-hmm. And now there's like weird ominous thunder, but it's not real thunder. It's fake Shan-Chan thunder. All very bad.
And then these guys are like, hey, the pores are fighting over there. And this guy named Terrell goes,
always be fighting.
Rabble! I never saw more than 50 to 20 in one place, armed with pitchforks and boar spears, mainly ragged as beggars they were, fit for scaring farmers to be sure, but you'd think the lords would be rooting them out and hanging them in bunches. Because,
I mean, that's like kind of real.
Well, it's the
shitty things.
It's the Dragonsworn,
yeah. They do really shitty things.
Reaving. So, there's like several pages of Perrin like, I don't know who I'm going to send to talk to Alejandra, which we can skip because it doesn't fucking matter at all. It's just...
she renders all of that completely moot.
Yeah, it's just like more Perrin, Fail, Barrelane stuff, and frankly, Fail, no disrespect, shut the fuck up. It's why Barrelane is here.
It is why Barrelane is here. This is the truth.
So, kind of walking around, and Fail and Perrin are like, ooh, they're not talking, but they're talking, but it's icy, and do you want to talk about this at all?
No.
It's just, okay, great.
I don't care. No offense. It's just not... I can't riff on this stuff. I gotta be able to riff.
So then he's like, someone's attacking those women and a couple of men. And Aram and Firin and Terrell, who are a couple of tyrants, and Aram, because he was excited about the idea of, I guess, bathing in blood.
He really is a problem.
And Fail rides after him, and he's like, guard my back. Because he's like, well, I can't tell her to leave. Because, unlike Rand, I have a fucking modicum of tact towards the women around me. So even though I don't want her here, I'm not going to tell her to leave.
If you pulled this crap on me, if we were the type that would ride into battle and you were like, Allie, I don't want you there, I'd be like, tough tits, I'm riding ahead of you.
So they get there, and I think it's someone starts channeling to freak them out, and I forgot who it is. And the Reavers run, and not Morgaze, but definitely Morgaze runs, and then Perrin catches her, and so here. Who is it?
Alejandra.
It's Magdin.
Oh, fuck.
She's like, hi, it's me. And then Leanie is like, a most timely rescue, Magdin. Whatever were you thinking? You could have gotten yourselves killed. She's a headstrong girl, my lord, always leaping before she looks. We do thank you, my lord, and Magdin will, too. And Magdin, a good 10 years older than Perrin.
Wait, isn't this also her mom's name?
Yes.
So people are really this dumb.
Her nickname is her mom's name.
Now, we're going to get someone who messages us and are like, hey, so there weren't lots of pictures back then and there was no Instagram. And I'm like, yes, I understand. But also...
Wouldn't her likeness be on the currency? Like the Andorran currency would have her face.
So everyone's fucking dumb.
I get that she's been through the
Mensa
ringer.
Perrin over here.
Magdin,
and his band of cronies.
We get a great idea of either how young Morgaze looks, because women aren't allowed to age in this series.
No, of course not.
Or how bad Perrin's judgment of age is, because, reminder, she's 42.
Nice.
And he goes, Magdin, a good 10 years older than Perrin, which would make her 29 or 31.
I'm 30-ish. I'm 30. I definitely...
Does Morgaze have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome? Discuss.
Oh my god, she could.
Apparently it makes you look young.
It does make you look young.
So, we've got everybody else, and Perrin is like, hey, come to my camp. And they're like, no. And they're like, yeah, okay. And they talk about this for a while. And then these, the Reavers come up and are like, we're with the Prophet. You shouldn't have done that. He's gonna chop off your dicks. All of them.
All of them? How many does one have? 7?
He goes, he was doing the Prophet's bidding, we were. The Prophet says if a man bothers a woman or doesn't want him, he dies. So, that's good.
I mean, I can get on board with that.
This lot was chasing after her, and she was running hard.
The prophet will have your ears for this.
So, like, my headcanon here is that Morghese was like, Talonvor, leave me the fuck alone.
Oh my god,
And was, like, riding away, and the Reavers were like, kill him! And they should have.
Honestly, why not? I don't see why not.
So Perrin is like, hey man, is that a fucking string of ears that your buddy has around his neck?
And he's like, yeah,
He's like,
that's my best set of ears.
No, man, we're good. And Perrin's like, cool. Hang these guys. These guys, hang that guy. Anyway, this is terrible. Fuck all of this.
Honestly.
Just, let everyone know. I'm here from the Lord Dragon, and if you do shitty stuff, we're gonna kill you. Okay?
That's good.
This your boy, the Lord Dragon is your boy, and I'm your boy's boy.
What if the ears were a gift? A weird, morbid, creepy gift.
So if you do anything weird, I'm gonna fucking hang the shit out of you.
From my friend, Grave Robber Dan.
Now run away, little man. And Fael is like, you did good.
Did you? No, I think so. I think okay, yeah. These people were creepy and weird, so I'm okay with it.
Anyway, that's just kind of the end of the chapter of chapter 7. Chapter 8 is called A Simple Countrywoman, is the logo. What was that?
Sorry.
You're good.
I just didn't think you were going to say woman. A simple... Never mind. Alright. It's a lion.
Lion. We're still with Perrin. Your friend and mine. Perrin. He's on a horse. We're going to camp. We get to camp. It was 3 camps, really, close to one another, and none far from the stream.
Whoa.
Okay. Perrin looks at Megden and is like, you look kind of familiar.
Oh my god. Yes, someone recognizes her.
And Leanie...
And then he's like, never mind.
By the way, nobody is using a false name except for her. So, Leanie and Talonvor, and he's like, that guy's name is Talonvor, and she keeps calling him young, even though he's probably well, Perrin says there could not have been more than 4 or 5 years between them, but he thinks Morghese is 30. So does that mean Talonvor is fucking 25? I hope not.
Listen, I know age is
nothing wrong with that. It's more that we have to say that every other relationship in these books.
There's just a lot significant age gaps in these relationships.
Something that we've kind of come to the conclusion of is a lot of the things that we kind of quirk an eyebrow at in these books, taken in isolation, once or twice in a book series. Yeah, all right, sure, okay. But it's why are there so many of these
big age gaps
where there's a big age gap? At least it's the other way this time.
Big age gaps are big age appearance gaps.
Yeah, at least it's the other way this time. But still. In general, what happened to the hey, we're a year apart or so, or 5 years even. So Balwer's also there. That's great. And Perrin is I wish people would
20-year age gaps that are really kind of
people would stop calling me a lord. Anyway, we haven't heard that plot from Perrin before.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got the banners. And then Megden looks at the banner and is like, what the Jesus dick shit ass fuck is that? What the fuck is Manetherin bullshit?
And Leanie's like, you can't get upset about that anymore because you were not Queen of Andor. So why don't you chill the fuck out?
I've heard about banners like those, Megden said suddenly and angrily. They were raised by men in Andor, in the Two Rivers, who rebelled against their lawful ruler. Ibarra is a Two Rivers name, I think. And then he goes...
Dang, someone else has been on babynames.com.
He goes... We don't know much about lawful rulers in the Two Rivers, Mistress Megden. I suppose Morghese was a good queen, but we had to fend for ourselves. And we did. And then he's like, oh, you kind of remind me of Elaine, actually. I've met her. She's chill. But he doesn't say this. of course.
No, because that would forward plots.
Because then maybe they could discuss who she is. I understand not wanting to tell him. I do. At one point I was like, why didn't she just tell him? But it's like, yeah, you know,
what if
Reavers,
he's a bad
Dragonsworn,
guy?
and also the banner of alleged rebellion that snapped you out of your...
No, I understand it from a character perspective, for sure.
And he goes, things aren't as bad in Andor as you might have heard. Caemlyn was quiet last I was there, and Rand, the dragon reborn, means to put Morghase's daughter Elaine on the Lion Throne.
And then she gets all
She's like,
pissy.
I'm gonna chop his fucking left ass cheek off and sear it over an open fire.
And he's like, that seems like a lot from some random lady.
And yeah, then Leanie runs up and goes, you apologize. You're just a fucking poor. Remember that you're a poor.
You're a poor who doesn't
just a
care.
poor, and you don't give a dick fuck at all. My
Yes.
swearing is off key today. I'm sorry.
I like it. Let it be off key.
And then she apologizes, and Perrin is like, this is weird. And then he's like, are women all crazy? And
Oh my god. Yes! We're all certifiable!
so Fail kind of is like, all right, everyone go take a bath. And then Perrin is like, by the way, Basil Gill, who I know, let's chat. And Basil Gill is like, oh!
You've got scary yellow eyes!
Oh, wow! I didn't think you remembered me.
In fact, I kind of hoped you didn't.
And Lamgwin is like, yeah, so that didn't fucking work, did it?
No.
Because we remember Lamgwin. Do you remember Lamgwin from book fucking 1?
No.
Yeah, he was the guard outside of Basil Gill's inn.
What?
He's just there.
Well, I know he's the guy who's in love with Brianna, what's-her-face.
Yeah. He's fun, you know, he's the other guy with the sword, and I like Lamgwin well enough, but like, when I read book 1 again with you the first time, and I got to Basil Gill's inn, and they were like, the guard outside was named Lamgwin. Anyway, I was like, why the fuck?
I just feel like I love Robert Jordan. I feel like he thinks we're taking notes the whole time that we're reading these books. Do you feel this way? Like, yes, they must remember Lamgwin. Obviously, he was so pivotal.
So
At the Queen's arms or whatever.
Lamgwin goes, we heard about young Rand being the dragon reborn, Master Gill and me. Should have figured you'd have come up in the world, too. Perrin Ibar's a good man, Mistress Magden. I think you could trust him with anything you've a mind to.
As long as he doesn't have to think too hard about it.
But this is the thing, even Lamgwin is like, I've met this guy, he was chill then, he's probably chill now, you can tell him who you are.
No, because that would forward the plot.
And then everybody
That can't happen.
goes and takes a bath, and
Don't you know it's the slog?
then Perrin's like, hey, let's talk, Basil Gill, and he keeps calling him Lord Perrin, and he's like, will you please not do that? We have to go over this again. So what do they talk about?
I prefer to be called Chief Baby Ibarra.
What do they talk about?
Kind of the same shit.
Kind of like they lie about how they got there.
Yeah. Yeah. Just kind of like, how did you get here? And he's like, we got here.
And it's a very awkward, kind of unhinged thing, because, like...
Perrin's being the
Leanie
most, and then Leanie keeps interrupting.
And Perrin is like... Sorry, go ahead.
And then, and poking Basil Gill for no reason. And then Perrin's like, I'm just trying to have a conversation with my buddy Baz. And then Leanie goes, you should marry more Magden, whatever I'm calling her, and Talonvor, just cause consent is stupid. And then Fail's like, actually, you should do that because when the pores are screwing, no
troubles a brewing.
Yeah, oh, thank you.
The Perrin, they like tell this disjointed story about how they got there, and he keeps taking his hat off and like rubbing his forehead with it. And Perrin is like, he seems nervous. But I don't know, maybe he's telling the truth.
No, he's lying.
And then he's like, anyway, there's the Shanshan took the city of Amador, and Perrin is like, the what?
Oh yeah, and then that's when he grabs Basil Gill, and Basil Gill's like, I haven't shit my pants as an adult. Until today.
Perrin is like, I'm going to get you back to Camelin. It's good. You know what? I got your back, you guys. It's going to be fine. I'm going to take care of you. I'm sorry you've been through all this shit. And then
you don't want to get Basil Gill's back because it's covered in some stuff.
And then Leanie goes,
I think you're a good man. I'm afraid we didn't tell you the whole truth.
Oh my God.
And maybe we should. And then Basil goes like, no, we shouldn't. No, moving on.
Jesus, Leanie.
And then Megden goes, oh, Jesus. Oh, God. Leanie goes,
Megden was running from Talonvor, in a manner of speaking, and he was chasing her. We all were. 4 days now, and near killing us and the horses both. Well, it's no wonder she doesn't know her own mind.
oh, God, I'm gonna fucking gag. Ugh. Oh, God, this is the worst sentence I've ever read.
You chose to read it. I was skipping over it, and then all of a sudden you were like, no, we must read about Megden and Talonvor.
It's no wonder she doesn't know her own mind half the time. You men snarl up a woman's wits so she can hardly think, then pretend you've done nothing at all.
I'm gonna throw the book away. That's the... yeah, you know, she just doesn't know she wants it. Fuck that! Sorry, I got really mad for a second.
I'm doing a small
Thank you.
The small patents.
There.
There. Do we need to put the book in the freezer?
No, it's okay.
Do we need to put the book in the freezer?
Didn't mean to get angry. I just don't like that message.
We're gonna put the book in the freezer. Right. This is what we do in my house. When the book has wronged us, we put it in the freezer as punishment. The book will go in the freezer. It's okay.
She goes, the girl's afraid of her own heart. Those two should be married, and the quicker the better.
And Perrin is like, what? Huh?
Leanie doesn't make a habit of giving a fuck about consent. Am I right?
I think I forgot that. I think I blocked this out both times I read
the problem. I'm a Leanie truther.
No, Leanie's
the problem. This is why the Tricans all suck as a family. Leanie is the problem. It's Leanie all the way down.
Yeah. Ugh. And I like Perrin goes, what? And Leanie goes,
don't pretend to be dense.
Ma'am. Ma'am. Miss ma'am.
All right, so...
madam.
All right, we're going to pretend none of this ever happened, and we're going to...
ma'am.
We're going to zip on forward.
Ma'am.
So Perrin leaves this and then goes to talk to Fail, and, you know, the Cha-Fail are there.
Oh, Falcon's Talon.
Fail and Megden are talking, and he's like, hey, sorry you've been through so much shit. We can hang out for as long as you want. You're safe here. It's all good. Leave whenever you want. And Fail's like, yeah, want to be my servant? Why does she do this?
I don't know.
I do think she's trying to be nice.
I think she's trying to be nice, and then Berlin gives her, like, shit about it later, because she's like, you just grabbed random maids off the street, you weirdo. And then Fail goes, you're fit for... I always thought you were fit for finding maids, which I think is some kind of Saldean burn.
Probably. And then... wasn't it the whole thing in the Borderlands? There's, like, a separate person who is not... Well, I guess that's
my
Shinar.
assumption. Yeah. My assumption is that there's, like, a separate person who recruits, like, the help.
In Shinar, it's like Shambayan or something. There's some term they made up.
It's an HR.
Yeah.
It's an HR hiring committee or whatever. And so then she was like, I always thought you were fit for hiring maids. And then Berline's like, thank you. And Fail's like, ha. Hit her with the okie doke.
So she leaves, and Perrin's like, hey, that insane evil woman Leanie just asked me to marry these two. Also, apparently the Shan-Chan took Amador. And Fail does the thing, and then we talk about the Shan-Chan, and...
let's force marry poor people. What? I don't know.
Perrin is like, we should probably warn Rand about that. And they're like, no, we're not supposed to talk to Rand right now. And also, I'm sure he's heard of this by now. Anyway, so this whole chapter is like, oh God, you know, I just realized this whole fucking chapter is Perrin playing catch up on last book.
Oh my God.
It's happening again.
It's
happening again.
No, I swear to God, Gus, Perrin is the audience, like the dumbest audience member stand-in.
Yeah.
Like, just in case you were drunk and high when you read the last book, Perrin's here for you.
Did you hear? Are you telling me?
Are you telling
the
me
Sean Chan took Amador?
Are you telling me?
Wait a minute.
Messima commits war crimes? Wait, Gus, are you telling me that Fail and Berlane have some problems? You telling me that I, Perrin Ibarra, am a wolf man? I'm just seeing how long I can do this for while you're trying to figure out where we are in the book.
So she's like, hey, maybe we should raise the Manetherin banner just for fun. Because, like, you know, it differentiates you from the Dragonsworn. And it's like, oh, Manetherin, I've heard of that. This is cool. Let's help him out.
Also, I would like to be queen of a place, says Fail.
And she's like, and, you know, that'll keep people from thinking you're here from Messima or doing anything Rand related. Because this is all a secret, I guess.
Is it?
Yes, this whole mission is... Remember when Perrin, like, got thrown out on his ass?
But why is it a secret? Are they worried that they'll do something to Messima in the meantime?
I think it's like Rand can't be seen associating with the Dragonsworn.
Well,
so
that's
Perrin has to
fair.
make it seem like, hey, I independently wrangled control of these fucking... bloodthirsty war criminal reavers, kicked them into shape, and now I'm giving them to you of my own free will as a gift, I think?
As like I'm sorry, Daddy.
I
Here's
guess?
my
Maybe?
Reaver men.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Maybe? But,
Sure.
like, it's gotta be a total secret.
Sure, I mean...
Just cause.
Because obviously...
You know.
Every gift should have a secret.
Then she gets mad at him for calling himself an idiot.
Hold on, Fayo. Hear him out.
And she's like, it's gonna be good. You're gonna get Alejandra in a minute. It's gonna be easy as shit. And then...
and I'll get to go. Shut up, Fayo.
And they look at the map, and then it's later, switches to Fail. Perrin's asleep. And, this was, she goes and talks to the Ch7-10 and is like, hey, we're gonna kidnap Alejandra, get her out of that city, right? And she thinks about Morgan.
Sure
she thinks about Megden and is like,
I was really like, this is it. She's getting kidnapped right now.
Yeah, but nothing really happens, right? Does
I
anything
know.
really happen here?
No.
Yeah. She talks to the Ch7-10 and we learn that she's got the Ch7-10 and that they're called the Ch7-10 and she's like, let's go kidnap Alejandra. But, it's cool. She's got her little spy ring. It's fun. It's cool. It's good.
I like that
It's fun.
she's got a spy
It's great.
ring.
We like it. It's good. Anyway, then we shift to Megden and she's like, this is hard. This is terrible. And then, just when you think it can't get any worse, Talonvor shows up and he's like, how could you do this to yourself? What are you doing? What are you doing? And then he dies and we never have to think about him again.
What does he die from?
Deathvation.
What are the symptoms?
You die.
Oh, beautiful.
It's just, you could be, you just go on, all of a sudden, you know what the first sign is? It's the deathvation.
You're dead.
One day you're like, damn, I feel like, have deathvation.
And then
you're dead.
All right, good. Deathvation.
So Deathvation gets Talonvor. I hate this guy.
I hate him so much. I hate Gawain, but I fucking hate this guy. And the fact that there are people out there that are like, he's not that bad. Like, I like their plotline. I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't.
The thing is, again, this is one of the things that pisses me off so much about this plotline is it's so close. It's so close to being right. It's like the movie is all good, but the main character's head is upside down. And you cannot look away from that. It's just horrifying and wrong. And it's all you can see is that his head is upside down. Nothing else is off, but his head is upside, and it's just like nobody else in the movie is acknowledging it. It's all you can pay attention to. Does this make sense?
Yes, 100% it does.
Because it's like, it's so close.
It's
so close. The
close.
loyal guardsman and the queen, like, it could be so good, but he's just a fucking nice guy creep.
I'm appreciating how worked up you're getting about this.
I hate this. I'm sorry. You read these and I was reading other stuff, so I am getting the brunt of this all at once because I haven't read these particular chapters since 2017 when I was like, whatever, I don't know. Sorry. Ugh.
This is the hottest you've ever been.
Thank
Keep
you.
going.
So... they
Just
talk.
skip it.
Yeah,
Just skip it. We don't have to read everything.
Okay, we're skipping. And then she
he
kisses her fucking eyelids.
Ugh.
That's the end of chapter
Ugh.
8. Chapter 9,
Oh,
Allie.
yeah. I have a reaction video to that.
You do.
If you want to see it, it's on TikTok.
Chapter 9, Allie, it's called Tangles. This is the chapter logo. The commenters on TikTok love Talon.
Oh, I know. And I was just like, no, you don't. No, you don't. How dare you.
Chapter 9, Tangles. Perrin continues doing whatever it is he thinks he's doing. He wakes up. We're gonna get some great feedback on this episode.
Oh my god, all the Perrin people are gonna be like, I'm so mad. I get it, okay? When Perrin does something laudable, we will laud him. But right now he's doing something blobbable, so we're blobbing him.
Perrin gets out of bed. Aram straightened from where he'd been sitting cross-legged behind the tent and waited silently on Perrin.
Oh my god.
If Perrin had not stopped him, Aram would have slept across the entrance.
Here's the other problem. Perrin needs to do something about this boy.
Yeah, he needs to do anything. Ever. In any way. You're telling me that Aram is carrying a sword now?
You're telling me that Aram has a thirst for blood? Like, yeah, Perrin, it's been a problem for like 3 books now.
So we've got...
Aram is literally like 2 books away from wearing ears himself.
The Camelin crew is there, and Seven Balwer is there, and everybody is there, and Perrin's like, where's my oatmeal? And then Flan Barsteer brings him his oatmeal. Good thing we had that.
I was saying, last chapter that we needed more oatmeal content.
It's the thing that happens. Perrin wonders why his oatmeal is late. Oh my god! Oh god!
I want to live in Perrin's brain! It's so peaceful! The apocalypse is happening and we're giving a fuck about oats!
Here's the other thing. Perrin, who goes on and on, I'm not a lord. He's like, my oatmeal is 30 seconds late. Hang him!
He's like, I'm getting accustomed to a certain fucking lifestyle.
Oh my god. Okay. So Perrin thinks about the burdens of leadership and scowls, and...
Okay, end of podcast. We love time.
And then, this is great. We joke about the chapters being walking around and thinking about stuff and looking at people and talking about things. Perrin doesn't look at stuff. Perrin thought about taking a look at Stepper. But then the farriers...
It's the next level.
The farriers are like, oh, we got it. And so this basically...
No, you know that meme of like the different heads, and it's like the first one is like, normal, and then the second one is like kind of like lit up, and the third one's like lit up to hell.
Yeah.
So the first one's doing things. Second one is walking around looking at stuff. Thinking about doing things. And then the third one is thinking about looking at stuff and doing something.
So then, the farriers are like, ah! And Perrin is like, what? And then Aram, who actually, despite being a bloodthirsty maniac, is actually observant, goes, they're afraid you don't trust them. I've talked to them, some. They think if a lord tends his own horses, it must be because he doesn't trust them.
I know fear.
You might send them off.
Because I love inducing it.
With no way to get home. I think they're embarrassed, too. If you don't behave the way they think a lord should, Gesundheit, it reflects on them as they see it. Which is true, Perrin.
Like, and I would know those feelings, except I haven't felt anything since 2017. The pores love to work. Let the pores work.
So Basil Gill's like, hey, I'm going to go buy a bunch of tabac. And, what is happening? So he makes a shopping list.
Okay, see, you were making fun of me earlier. You were making fun of me earlier for how long it took me to read this. Do you understand now?
I forgot. So he has a shopping list.
I'm gonna stop you right here. You don't need this page. You don't need this page. Okay, no, let me help you.
Basil Gill? No,
Balwer's here. Balwer says, all of this page just can be summarized by Massima is in this place called Amador. Okay.
No.
Where is it? Abila?
He's in Abila.
Cool.
Okay, great.
He's in Abila. Bye.
Aram, whatever. Perrin, whatever. They don't talk to Aram and they ignore him. And where was Berylane? The first hasn't... She was somewhere.
I think she went to go see... And
now we have Perrin going, I just wanted to look about a bit. So he isn't even walking and looking at stuff. He wanted to. And then Javi and Norella's like, why are they making the Aes Sedai do chores? And Perrin is like, I don't know. I'm still in book 4.
Wait, you're telling me the Aes Sedai have been captured by the Wise Ones? Wait, you're telling me that the Wise Ones can channel? Wait a minute. You're telling me that the Aiel are real and not just monsters from fairy tales?
And Perrin is like, it seems like the winged guards are kind of lacking morale. I know what to do. And then he goes, the winged guards will do Mayenne proud if we ever face another Dumais Wells. And they're like, woohoo! +5 moral. We feel good. So, hey, he's learning what he knew in book 4. Again.
What do they call it? Like in Pokemon, where you have to like walk around grass and like level things up.
Grinding?
Yes. We are literally on Wheel of Time's grinder profile right now.
So the Wise Ones, he talks to... What is this? Sulin comes up. Sulin! Hey! Sulin comes up and talks to him.
Is Sulin gonna give us a plot?
And is like, hey, Perrin, good job
or
doing
am I
nothing.
Sulin Robert Jordan's stage? I'm just kidding.
You coming to talk to the Wise Ones? This is great. Very good job. I'm really proud of you. This is a smart thing that you're doing. And Perrin is like, no, I'm here to talk to just Adara. And Sulin is like, maybe you are a fucking dumbass.
Tell it like it is, Sulin.
It's great. She goes, only a fool displeases Wise Ones. And I have not taken you for a fool. And Perrin goes, well, I need to see Adara now about the Aes Sedai. And she goes, perhaps I was mistaken after all, but I will tell her.
Because she thought that Perrin was going to be like, so we got to kill Massima, am I right? And he was like...
No, she thought Perrin was going to be like, I would like to see the Wise Ones, because he's been making the Wise Ones come to him, because he probably keeps forgetting they're there, because... Perrin.
You're telling me the Wise Ones are with us?
This is the Perrin Slander Hour.
You know what? He deserves more than 1 hour.
Yeah. And then, we get a funny interaction
if
where
you don't like it,
like,
start your own podcast called the Perrin Pander Hour.
This whole thing where Sulin is like, here's a complicated question about Giotto, and Perrin is like, I'm in a coma. And
let's add it to the list of things that will put Perrin in a coma. The entire concept of Giotto. And women's rights again. I have never contorted my body into so many shapes as I have during the course of this podcast.
So Perrin goes in to talk to the Wise Ones, And they're like, hey. And they're like, you gotta kill Massima. And he's like, what?
You're telling me there's a man named Massima?
And all the wise ones are like, yeah, you gotta kill Massima, dude. And Perrin is like, well...
Sounds like a good plan. Who is Massima?
He's like, why? Because, like, you're saying you've dreamed danger, but, like, I don't know what it is. So, like...
I've dreamed danger.
What is a dream?
We must kill someone over a dream.
But it's the wise ones.
I know. But could you imagine? Could you imagine if you're Massima, though? They're like, we killed you over a dream. And he's like, what? Not because of my war crimes, because of a dream.
Perrin goes, the light knows Massima's a madman, but he supports Rand. A fine thing if I go around killing people on our side. That'll certainly convince people to join Rand. Sarcasm was lost on them. The man must die.
I don't think it was.
It is enough that 3 Dreamwalkers have said so, and 6 wise ones tell you. And he's like, oh, whatever, fuck, whatever, we'll come back to... Let's talk about the Aes Sedai real quick. And they're like, oh my god. He's like, you should stop hitting them. That's actually good advice.
That's true. Though I think, aren't they apprentices?
Yeah.
Isn't that what's happening?
But, like, you can hit apprentices because it's the Aiel, and as we may have discussed before... People tend to really overlook all the shitty stuff about Aiel because they're coded as good in the books.
I think it's fine to hit interns. No, it's not.
It's
anyway.
Interesting. We've talked about this before. The Aiel, sell people into slavery.
Bad.
Are, like, for all the in-world racist stereotypes about them, they do a lot of shitty stuff.
I'm here for them, but when their version of millennials comes of age and is like, we're gonna undo generational curses.
So
when that happens, I will be so there for them.
So
Aiel is the definition of generational curses. Am I right?
No, yeah.
So, trauma begets trauma, baby.
They talk about oh my god, they talk about the Aes Sedai, and we kind of mull this over, and Perrin misunderstands Giotto completely. And then they bring Sayanid in, and Sayanid is yeah, you gotta kill this dude, man. You really gotta fucking kill this dude. He is a bad fucking dude.
Well... This is starting to feel a lot like peer pressure, and my mom told me never to give in to that.
And Perrin, much like me, is like, people are telling me I should do a thing. Now I don't wanna.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that's such a you quality. Oh my god. I was like, watch Wednesday with me, and you were like, no, Netflix has made it too advertised, and now I resist it. And I'm like, Jenny Ortega, and you're like, I don't like Joy.
I'm not saying it makes sense.
It makes no fucking sense. And it honestly is so aggravating. And you know what? Here's what's going to happen. In like 4 months, you're going to be like, hey, I decided to watch Wednesday on my own while I was working out. And it's actually a banger. This happens. I always fucking come to him with these shows. And I'm like, hey, Gus, here's this show that's really awesome. And then every time you're like, I don't know. I don't like new things because I'm Gus. And then 4 months later, you're like, have you heard of this show? It's amazing. And I'm like, I'm going to kill you.
So everyone in this room is like, you have to kill Massima. He is bad news. Except Masuri, who is like, maybe you could, tie him up.
I don't want to watch Wednesday because they canceled 1899 and somehow that's related.
So then they kick the Aes Sedai out. And the wise ones are like, anyway, kill Massima. And Perrin is like, let's talk about this. And that's the end of the chapter. Chapter 10 is called Changes. We skip the rest of the meeting with the wise ones.
Changes!
It's the wolf logo.
This is not the first Changes.
No, it's not.
Harriet.
Harriet was like 4 drinks in because
Yeah.
she just read these chapters and was like, I don't fucking know, change this.
Change
and
it.
RJ went, all right, changes, good.
Changes. Okay, great.
So he looks around and, oh my god, okay. And then Elias is here.
And he did a racism.
He's just there. And Perrin is like, what the fuck?
No, seriously, read how racist his story is.
I will. And then Gaul goes, he found me. I did not know he was behind me until he coughed.
That's creepy.
Yeah. And for some reason, the maidens are like, good job, Gaul.
I think they're making fun of him.
No, because Gaul deliberately pitches louder to be overheard.
Huh. I'm confused.
And then they rattle spears and bucklers, and he's praising Elias?
I think so.
Yeah, he's praising Elias, and Elias is like, hey, how you doing? It's been 7 books.
Let me tell you a racist ditty. No, seriously, fast forward to the racism, because truly that's the only thing that happens.
I'm looking. So they talk for a little bit, and we talk about Rena, who is the Aes Sedai, who he is still bonded to, and she has fuzzed the bond, so all he knows is that she's alive, and then he's like, oh, you're married. Cool. I was surprised to hear you'd married a Saldean, though. Perrin is like, why? Oh, here we go. And then Elias goes, why, because you're a quiet sort, and I thought you'd marry somebody quiet, too. Well, by now, Saldeans aren't quiet, except with strangers and outsiders.
Again, that feels very, very microaggressive.
Set the sun on fire 1 minute, and the next it's all blown away and forgotten. Make Arafellan look stolid and the Domani downright dull. I lived a year with a Saldean once, and Maria shouted my ears off 5 days in the week, and maybe heaved the dishes at my head, too. Every time I thought about leaving, though, she'd want to make up, and I never seemed to get to the door. In the end, she left me. Said I was too restrained for her taste. And Perrin's like, well, my wife is nothing like that.
I mean, okay, here's the unfortunate thing. Here's the unfortunate thing is he's right about what she's like, but it's still racist.
Yeah, he goes, I don't mean she doesn't get angry now and then, but she doesn't shout and throw things. It's like, no, she just punches you, because that's so much better.
That is better. No, it's not.
And Elias is like, oh, you gotta yell at her more. And anyway, we're gonna fucking fast forward now, because I know Saldeans, boy. That here wasn't the only time I've been there. I've only ever met about 5 Saldean women I'd call meek, or even mild-mannered. Anyway, we're gonna keep on moving on.
It's a culture, but also personalities differ. I don't know. This is just...
I'm gonna pretend these pages aren't here, because, on the one hand, we asked for someone to acknowledge that Saldean relationship dynamics are toxic, and now we're getting what we wanted.
We
But-
asked them to do it in a way that was nuanced and not racist.
Yeah, but that was the counterexample we didn't want. This is the corollary to the counterexample we didn't want that we didn't want.
Who do we write to? Dear so-and-so, we're upset.
So they just talk about women, and Perrin is like, she couldn't really want me to shout at her, could she?
Anyway.
Yeah,
flip.
I'm skipping.
Flipadelphia. Flipadelphia. Flip.
Adelphia. That's a good episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Okay, so they just kind of talk.
Guys, I'm begging you to flip.
I'm trying. And then Berylin is like, hey, look who's here. Aleandra.
Mm-hmm.
Here she is. Just here now. That's great. Look at that. And Aleandra's like, hey, it's me. Aleandra. Rand took Ilion, have you heard? And also the Shanchan a week ago. And Magdin is serving them. And Aleandra doesn't recognize her either. Apparently.
Why
Or if
not?
she does, she's just being coy. And, he's like, I should probably tell Rand all of these things about the Shan-Chan taking Abu Dar and everything else, and that'd be great. And, I can't though. And then he's like, sorry, Alejandra, I was thinking about my good buddy Rand. Anyway, oops, I called you Alejandra. What a gaffe.
She is Alejandra.
Yeah, but he didn't call her under the light, the blessed, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, it's fine.
And, she's like, anyway, I snuck out to meet ya. Because Barrelane came to say hi. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It wasn't Moot. Barrelane brought her out.
Yeah, but the whole Fail, we're going to kidnap her.
Yeah, that went nowhere.
That went nowhere. But it will be foreshadowing to the fact that Fail's getting fucking kidnapped.
And then they talk about the fucking flags for a minute. And so they just catch up. And she runs all her concerns by him in a sneaky way. And he just bludgeons his way through them. But like accidentally, or maybe intentionally, maybe I'm just being an asshole, assuages all of her concerns. So he's actually, you know what? He's doing a fine job with this meeting. He is.
Yeah. I said he's doing fine.
Yeah, he's doing fine. So
he did fine.
He does fine, and then Alejandra swears fealty to him, and then he accepts her fealty and says, like, anyway, Galdan is still yours, so thanks for the fealty. I'm your emperor, I guess, as Rand, whatever. It's great. Cool. High five, let's go find the prophet. We've got that box check. Maybe I should give more weight to the fact that you just swore fealty to me. Sorry. Anyway, you want to go back to Bethel now? And she's like, oh, the prophet's in Abila. And Perrin is like, oh, yeah, well, damn, Seven Balwer was right. Funny. And Fail's like, maybe don't send her away, because, like, you know, how about I talk to her for a minute? Perrin is like, oh, okay. Fun fact, by the way, one of the things Perrin says, he's like, are you sure you want to swear fealty to me, or is this just Ta'Veren talking? Give it a second thought. That's why he takes the time.
Right.
So then we switch to Fail, and she's like, hey. And then Barrelane comes up to her and is like, what's with these four? What's with these fucking ladies? It's kind of weird. And Fail, they talk. And Aleandra's like, hey, you know what? Perrin is smarter than he looks.
He is.
He is.
As much shit as we give him, he is smarter than he looks.
Although I do think he wasn't trying to Dias Daymar her here.
No, what is funny is often he is not trying to be smart. And that is the joy of Perrin.
So they talk, and Fail and Barrelane kind of team up to talk to Aleandra, and Fail's like, God damn it, I kind of like her, but I don't. I hate her because of this bullshit cactus stuff she's doing at my husband. But I mean, she's pretty cool apart from that.
Yeah. Okay.
So they talk to Aleandra, and she's like, no, I'm totally fucking on board with Perrin, and we just kind of recap everything. And she's like, hey, come with us when we go south, please.
Oh, yeah. Because she was like, if we leave her behind, what's to stop her from basically being like, well, Massim is taken care of. All right, I'm now back to my bullshit. Like, what's to keep her oath happening? Which, Fail, she gets it. She knows she gets it. She's wily.
And then we switch to Galeen, one of the winged guards. No, wait, Perrin. Sorry, is it Perrin? Oh, what's that? It's Perrin. We switch to Perrin, and they're like, we found some guys burning up, killing, doing the thing. And Perrin is like,
they set a house on fire with everybody inside.
And Perrin's like, okay, hang them. And they do. And that's it. That's the end of chapter 10. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you really like Perrin, I'm sorry about this week. We have social media
I'm
if
not.
you want to know what we're up to.
He knows what he did.
It's linked below. We also have a Patreon if you want to support us that way. It's patreon.com/wheeltakes.
We've got a merch store.
It's all
got a
in that
TikTok.
there description. Ratings and reviews are nice if you've got a minute. Anyway,
Yeah, it's super nice.
anything else, Allie?
You're telling me that this is the end of the episode?
Thanks for listening, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you again for listening. This was Wheel Takes with Allie and Gus. Music by Alexander Nakarada.